Hey, what up, Baba Booey? What? Where? Who? What? Gonna be able to see what I'm doing here. I don't know if this is even working right now. Hi. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome back to the greatest stock market in the history of me. I've seen up, down, sideways markets. This is by far the best trading environment I've ever seen, ever. Buying on dips working, selling on the rips working, swing trading's working. Basically everything's working, but most importantly, the trade that we love the most continues to work. We're 19 for 19 this week. Not one has failed. And I was planning on coasting, which I am. Doing one or two trades a day is kind of coasting along. But we saw some pivot points in a lot of sectors, a lot of stocks that I was liking. And Tiger was one of them. Tiger pivoted. We got the faux show bro and Tiger, so we're looking forward to an explosion to the upside today, and we're getting it. I'm trying, again, I'm trying not to exaggerate, and I say the best, never, ever. Obviously, nothing's ever, nothing's ever, never. But by far, this is some of the best trading I have seen ever. And that's not an exaggeration. Everything's working. The only thing that's not working is investing. Because if you're an investor, you're looking out 18 months, 2 years, 3 years. And if anybody even tries to pretend that they know anything about what's going to happen 3 years from now, you're guessing, right? But if you're going to be an investor, then you're not a trader. If you're going to be an investor, there's 3 letters you need to know. Q, Q, Q. You guys understand how they're making commercials about the QQQ now? It's almost to the point where I don't want to recommend it anymore, because if it's becoming popular, I don't want it anymore. I've been trading the Qs. I've been telling people to invest. I'm much smarter than Cathie Wood. Yeah. Maybe not on, if you want to take aptitude tests, I don't even know how to spell. But I'm much better trader than she is. I would put up $5 million to fight her in a trading contest. I will fuck her up. Because I know for a fact I shorted every stock that she was involved in, and I made money when the market went down, and she lost money. She's a hack. She's a flash in the pan. She's a result of a government intervention of a market that never goes down. She's buying momentum stocks and hoping they go higher. Everybody knows how to do that. Trade the market with some volatility, and then we'll see who knows what they're talking about. But for me, I bought stocks yesterday that are up 27% today. I bought stocks this morning that are up 8% today. I shorted stocks that are down 12% today. So collectively, I've made 100% in a day. So unless her fund doubles tonight, I'm better. I'm better at this than most people because I built the system that we're trading on. I built the idea that we're using to trade on the system that I built. I was here for the beginning. I was here for the middle, and I'm here still now. So I've seen the evolution of the manipulation, how the market makers try to manipulate you out of stocks, and how VWAP is the end of the story. As long as you're following the VWAP, you're on the right side of the trade. It's not really my system. I'm just a purveyor of the truth. The VWAP is the truth. And then it's VWAP and price. So all you're doing is going back 3 to 5 days, looking at price action. If those levels are held, and then you get back above multiple time frame VWAPs, and then you focus in on the 1 day, that's how you find bottoms, and that's how you find tops. And then there's the fades, like a chewy short. But Tiger being up 20% today is exactly what we were looking for, and here it is. So pivot points, faux show bro, meets price, meets VWAP, and that's why I don't teach classes. It's a process. It's something that took me 18 months to really fully appreciate what I have here. And now it's been 8 years. I'll never trade anything else. I've got 2 lines on my charts. 2 lines on my charts and some red lines going across. And all I know is where the thing's been. You give me 15 days worth of data and I'm really good. You give me a lifetime's worth of data and I'm unstoppable. I know where these stocks stop. I know what the reaction, I know what capitulation looks like. I know what blow off tops look like. So Tiger got capitulation into a fake out, shake out, breakout pattern called the faux show bro, back above the VWAP level. There was only one place for this stock to go, and it was up. And when that triggers, you've got the shorts that still think it's going to go to zero. The stock's gone from 38 to 12. Is it going to go to zero? Yeah, maybe it could go to zero, but 38 to 1250, inevitably, even the shorts are going to say, all right, we've had our way with this stock. Let's cover. Yesterday was that pivot point where the covering became real buying. And then when the covering meets the real buying, you usually have a follow-through move. Wham, Tiger up 20% today. Now, if this stock had weekly options, we would have put maybe $500 into this trade and we'd be up 10 times our money. But sadly, there's no weekly options, but we bought the stock. And again, we're in a market that never goes down, ever. So once a stock makes that turn, everybody wants back in. It's fresh, it's exciting, it's new again. The shorts are on the wrong side. The people that dumped the stock are coming back in because they're like, oh no, it's going up. It's going up without me. The people that were looking at dollar cost average are buying it because they don't want to pay up too much for it. They think they missed the bottom, which they might have. I think Tiger's bottom is in finally. 1275 to 13 and a quarter. And the QQQ. Again, if you're an investor, you're not going to. Let's see over the next 3 to 5 years if Cathie Wood beats the Qs. She probably won't. Chewy short was right out of the gate today. Yeah, we did all right with the Chewy short. That started the day off. Chewy short, and then you had Mile long and Tiger long. And that's been it. You had a couple of the EBON, SOS trades. I wasn't involved. And then you've got Cybercock, which I don't know if anybody owns the stock, CYH. Cybercock, I've been talking about it since $4. Now it's at 14. It's one of the only stocks I own. Every time it pops, it pulls back and consolidates, and then it goes back up. That's called accumulation. That is a staircase pattern of accumulation. CYH just rocking to $14 now. 3 more points to go, and then hopefully you'll see $20 on this name. It's been dead for 7 years. When they come out of a 7-year slumber, they usually double and triple. So the stock is now up 300% off lows. Still looking for more. Cybercock, kind of rooting against it right now because I was looking forward to buying $14 calls tomorrow. I would never buy BABA. I pray every night before I go to sleep that it go out of business. and they're exposed for the money laundering scumbags that they are. I don't like any China stocks except for Tiger, and I got duped into that too. I still don't know if it's a legitimate company. I would never own. I'm never going to own another Chinese stock. I hate most stocks. So if I'm going to own something, I certainly don't want it to be anything related to Chinese. Because one day we might wake up and they just ban all of this crap. And I hate Alibaba the most of all. I don't even like Tiger, but I'm in it. But this thing gets back to $23. Good night. I'm done. No, it's nice. No, it's getting cold again. Hate Apple. Hate all stocks. I hate every stock except the ones I happen to be in right now. I'm a trader. I wake up in the morning and I just look for something to do. And I isolate bottoms to play squeezes. That's why I like Cybercock. Nah, I haven't traded Apple. I trade Apple once every 3 years when they have a reversal on an earnings report. I don't look at that crap. I don't look at Amazon, Tesla, Netflix, Google, Facebook. I don't look at any of that shit. I got zero advantage. I like taking trades where I'm risking 10 cents to make $1, not risking 5 to make 1. So I don't like any of that stuff. If I'm going to trade it, I'm trading the Qs, right? Hey, by the way, boring and good strikes again. HYRE. HYRE. Earnings reversal. Didn't really have it on the radar because of the lack of volume. But again, lack of volume doesn't mean you can't trade it. Here's your ass crack break, 845. There's your high of the day break, 871. And 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal for a 3% move. HYRE. Another one. So that's 513 of these now out of 522 that we have found over the last 8 years that have resulted in profits. Not a bad track record. 513 now out of 521. And every one that's come up this week has worked. Every one of them. Boring, ACG, boring, KNDI, boring, HYRE, MILE, today, 2 for 2. And of course, Chewy, the fade worked on the VWAP break. Tiger with the follow through on the upside. Just everything's working right now. It's the best ever. So, and we also decided not to short the Qs. See, the way you talk, the way you decide, and the way you feel out the market is if what takes an hour and a half resolves itself to the opposite direction in seconds. The market spent basically an hour and a half trying to go down, and then in 10 minutes it made it up to new highs. We're in a bullish environment. Bullish environment. And there's nothing you could do about it until tomorrow when we're in a bearish environment and we have the opposite of what we're doing here today. And that's why I'm a trader and I don't comment on stocks in particular, and I don't care. I don't care where any of these trades are, except for Tiger, Cybercock, MJ, and I still own that other piece of turd, POWW. Owning stocks is a waste of time. Owning stocks is a distraction from a trade that we have and we've proved works over and over again. Owning stocks is a Cathie Wood idea. We're not here to own stocks and hope and pray. We're here to react to real reasons to trade those ideas. So, Yeah, man. Not only do you get the orange line, right? But we've got something now where it's a wristband that emits a low grade electric pulse each time you do a trade that's not VWAP related. Gentle at first, but after 3 times of doing other trades that are not VWAP related, it starts to get a little intense. So some people need a smack in the back of the head. I needed to go almost broke. That's how it worked out for me. Talking about hitting my bottom, 2012, 2013, I almost blew my whole life up, shortened the market, thought I was onto something. If I would have had VWAP on the chart, I would have got the hell out of that trade a long time, long before. But after that day, I was like, you know what? Let me embrace this VWAP. I obviously don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Can't short the market. And that's when I started noticing how important the VWAP was for guys like me who like to short, that you have to admit you're wrong once you get over these VWAPs and these multiple time frame VWAPs. So that's how it first evolved to changing. That's the first moment it changed the way I trade. I'm just going to listen to the VWAP and I'm going to maybe cover and go long. Then I was like, you know what? Maybe I just don't short anymore. Maybe I become this crazy bull. I started looking at the market. I was like, yeah, we're probably going to Dow 20,000. Why would I want to short anymore? I almost lost my home and my everything I ever made on 1 or 2 trades in 2012, 2013. Just blew everything up. Let me not do that anymore. And then let me just trade VWAP. And these last 3 days, all I've traded was specific VWAP reversal trades. That's it. I'm 17 for 17. Does that mean that you're going to go 17 for 17? No. Does it mean if you went 17 for 17, you actually did really well? Doesn't even mean that. I went 1 for 18 once, and I had a great day because all 17 of my losses were really small, and the last 18th trade was a monster that made up for all the little losses. So that whole track record thing, it's an illusion in this industry that people like to talk about. Bye, blah, 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 blah. We are at a 98%, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. They don't mention the 2% losses were massive losses. It's all about discipline. It's all about being able to milk your trade, be disciplined enough to walk away from it when it's time to walk away. Because I'll show you a trade that works 90% of the time, and I'll also show you the guy that fucks it up every time because he overtrades it, or he's trading illiquid options, or he's too scared to get out on the pullback, or he doesn't use a stop when he should use a stop, and he buys more at the worst possible time. Oh, you could ruin a good trade. Oh, I know. I know how to ruin a good trade. Alibaba. I know how to ruin a real good trade in that Yext. Right, that? Right, by Jimmy? Jimmy! Where are you, Jimmy? Remember that Yext trade? It's 5 years ago, Jimmy. When are you coming back to the website? Jimmy's still pissed off. Jimmy's the guy that he heard me mention the stock Yext, and I gave him a price. All right, we're buying it here. We're buying it here. I'm loving it here, loving it here, loving it here. And then I said, you know what, Jimmy? This thing's breaking down. I'm going to have to sell out of some of this before I get screwed and I ruin this trade. So I started selling. And Jimmy said, why are you selling? You said it was going to go up. I'm like, yeah, but now it's not going up, Jimmy. Now it's not going up. See, that differentiates me from other people. I know what I said. And now the situation has changed. So now I have to bend to the will of the market, Jimmy. And I got to get out of the trade that a week ago I thought we were going to see the stock at $35, and here we are selling it at $22.50, Jimmy. You get it, Jimmy? If you don't pivot, you're going to get crushed. If you don't admit you're wrong, you're going to get crushed. So Jimmy and I aren't friends anymore because he couldn't grasp that concept. Well, you said it was going to 35. I know what I said, Jimmy. And I'm also telling you, if you listen to me on the way in, why aren't you listening to me on the way out when I'm telling you it's over, Jimmy? As we're playing Air Supply in the background. Can't live. And Jimmy and I, and he's got that sour spot now for me. Somewhere Jimmy is going to watch this video 3 days from now. He's like, this asshole's still talking about me and that dumb Yex trade. Yeah, because Jimmy, that trade separates the winning traders from the losing traders. Jimmy, have you wrote anything down lately, Jimmy? It's okay to be wrong. Just don't stay wrong. You're going to get them wrong. This is a unique week. Unique week, he said, because every trade has worked. They don't always work. But Jimmy says, hey, if you're so smart, every trade should work. And I never said that, Jimmy. First of all, I'm not a smart guy. I am just a purveyor of truth and justice and VWAP. And I noticed that if this does this and that does this, then usually this happens. But Jimmy, when it doesn't happen, that's the most important part. But you said it was gonna. I know I said that. But you said it was gonna. I know what I said. But now it's not doing that, Jimmy. And now you have to get out. It's not a very difficult concept to learn unless you're Jimmy. So what's today's moral? Don't be Jimmy. And don't be Gail either. Because Gail, if you're still out there, when's this market going down, Gail? Gail was a woman that used to come to our website and she would express her displeasure with me by saying how the market's not going to go down today. And I would repeat it every day. As soon as the market would open up, I'm like, you guys understand we're never going down, right? And she called me criminally negligent and irresponsible to say that. And you know what that was? You know when I started saying we're never going down? We're never going down? After I got my ass kicked shorting the market, Gail. Lessons learned not in blood are often forgotten. There's a guy outside my house. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I'm not shorting the Qs. No, I'm not. We might go down once in a while. And the best part about the market, the hard part to grasp there, Gail, is that stocks go down. Oh, yeah. If you bought some of these pump and dumps or your EVs or your weed stocks at the wrong time, or your Google of that, or the this of China, or that IPO, and your stock's getting annihilated, and you're thinking, the market's at all-time highs. How come my stock sucks? Yes. Funko is the answer. Stocks go down. The market doesn't. And every time the market tries to go down, what do? They kick the stocks out of the index that aren't producing up to snuff. You wonder why Bethlehem Steel and Westinghouse are not part of the Dow Jones? Why is US Steel not part of the Dow Jones anymore? Fuck this stock. You can't hang in our club. We want stocks that only go up. So they kick the shitty ones out of the club. They put the good ones in there to perpetuate this illusion that we never go down. So if you buy the diamonds and the Qs, the manipulation plays out in your favor, Holmes. And where does that all lead us? VWAP trades intraday to fund everything else. You want to own some Tiger? You better be doing it today because you made money trading Tiger. And now, hey, I had 1,000 shares of Tiger at 15 and a quarter. I sold it at 17. Maybe I hold on to 200 shares. Yes, That's how you do it. You're not buying Tiger here at 17.29 now, hoping that it goes up for the next 3 or 4 days. That's not how you do it. Every trade you get into has got to have a purpose, a defined trade, a risk-reward ratio. And as much as I think Tiger pivoted, I'm not much of a fan buying it here at 17.29, and I still think it's going up 5 more points from here. But you just missed a 30% move, Home Piss. Home Piss? Who's that? And for everybody wanting to buy Viacom, nah. Wait for the blood. Wait for that tiger moment where it just shits the bed one more time, wipes everybody out that thought they were onto something on this dip, wipe those people out, have them screaming for mercy. Why did I buy this? Write down another 12 points. Then we buy Viacom. And as those morons are buying it back because they're all pissed they just sold it, we'll sell it back to them. Trading. And that's the whole premise of trading. Why do you think Chewy went down 7 points from the moment it opened up? Because guys that were speculating on it, Cybercock, 1 second. Guys that were speculating on the Chewy, right? That they were going to report good numbers. Because I don't know about you, if you have a pet, I spend tons of money on this thing, on Chewy. Toys, stuff, delivered, pandemic, everything about Chewy was setting up for success, right? Stock had a monster move, reported good earnings. But Kenny, I read on Yahoo Finance that they just blew out earnings and they just beat their expectations by 18%, and the EBITDA was exploding, Kenny. Did you read about the EBITDA? I did read about the EBITDA. And I still said to short the stock because stocks that gap up on earnings are ripe for profit taking, meaning the guys that bet on the Chewy move are going to take their success and they're going to sell the stock. They bought the rumor, they're selling the news. That's why US Steel today was one of my favorite short ideas on the planet, because US Steel has ripped for the last 6 months. The ironic trade on US Steel was that US Steel has had its best move when people thought it would have its worst move. So in 2016, I bought US Steel because Donald Trump was coming on the television and he was ensuring us that the rebuilding of America was going to happen. The infrastructure buildup was going to be amazing, terrific, fantastic, tremendous. I bought US Steel at $38. It went up for 2 points and then tanked 80%. So the infrastructure play, the oil and energy play, and the infrastructure play was a complete 100% fail. Then comes our great-grandpa becomes president, and people who thought that would be the worst thing to have happen for these infrastructure plays, they started to rally, and the oil and energy sector caught fire with the infrastructure, your concretes, your aluminums, your steels, and now have rallied into the news that there's a big infrastructure bill. Don't you think the stocks, the CEOs, they knew the infrastructure bill was being written? That's why the stocks rallied into this move. And that's why they were a sell today. As you're seeing, Alcoa, negative now. US Steel, negative. ATI, negative. The oil and energies coming in. And that's trading. And then you got Lululemon. Because how many sexy cougars can you look at in one supermarket without noticing that they're all wearing Lululemons and looking hot. And I love that outfit. So when you get Lululemon reporting earnings and the stock consolidates all day and then finally gets something going above the VWAP, hitting lower highs each time it pulls back, inevitably the buyers will step in, the shorters will have to give up, and you get a follow-through move on Lulu that took 4.5 hours to figure out. And by the way, Lulu, congratulations if you withstood all this chop, because each time it chopped, it made it, almost except for that one right there. By the way, we're looking at charts right now. So to sum it all up, everything is working right now, but you have to be disciplined. You got to position yourself in the right place at the right time. How do you do that? Focus on the stocks that report earnings. Focus on the stocks that are in the news. That's where your most activity is going to be. And then trade around the VWAP, trade around your prices, and you're gonna live forever, man. We won't get any older, and we won't ever die. I ran out of things to say. But Lou, it's about freaking time. The Tiger move, I amazed how great I am with this trade. This is probably, I'm not going to say it's the most amazing trade of my life. Obviously, it's never going to be that trade. But knowing that I saw the pivot yesterday and I called for a 20% move on the stock today and got it, that's what I'm talking about. I'll one-up you on that one. My man wants to hear something. I got one for you. Ready to see if you know this one. You don't know it. You should know it. You love it. US country now. I did not know this song. Crazy. You guys are nuts, man. You just took it right in the jugular, man. Yes. You crazy, man. You're crazy, man. I like you, but you're crazy. Come on, Jane's Addiction, last song on the album. It's one of the best songs, man. I go crazy with that song. Anyway, I'm loving the fact that you guys got the Lulu. You are 1 or 2 ticks away from another $160 out of this one. That's my air bass. Yeah. I'm a professional air guitarist. Yeah. I was never able to play instruments. That's why I was always a singer. I'm very kind of spastic with my left hand. My brain to my left hand just doesn't go. I can't play the drums. Couldn't play piano. Certainly couldn't play the guitar. All right, what the hell are we doing now, huh? Look, I just want to say one more thing about HYRE, right? Yeah, it was boring and awful and terrible and whatever, but it's a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Just play them. Play them. I don't know what I am, but the funny thing about the whole Jewish conversation, people always think I'm Italian because I'm from Brooklyn. You know, Italian and Jewish are two separate things. One's a religion, one's a nationality. But that's where that whole thing gets convoluted. Apparently, it's a religion and a race. But it's really not. Because I don't believe in any of that crap. You know who God is? Me! I create miracles every day. And there's no denying my miracles because it's like I'm walking on water this week. I'm invincible. I used to do some jokes about how certain races and the Jews should be united, but they're not. But I'll tell you what. None of it matters in here, man. In here, it's about music and VWAP. And guns. Are they still coming for our guns? Because I'm buying more. Hopefully they don't come for my guns. Hey, speaking of guns, anybody have a 223 single bolt action rifle they can recommend? I don't own one, so I figured I'll go get one. I'm looking at the Remington or the Rugers. Probably stick with those, but if anybody has a Savage, I was looking at, I don't know if anybody. Yeah, I'm going hunting. Going hunting for vagrants. Or varmints, as they say. Yeah, it's like I'm a collector. I want to get an old Winchester, double-barreled. Uh-oh. My kids are leaving. They're going to leave, so I'll be back. All right. See you later. You don't need to hear any of this. All right. That ended abruptly. That's what happens when you have kids. Don't have kids, by the way. Oh, by the way, if you want to be a real successful trader, don't get married and don't have kids. Seriously.